Welcome back, two-wheel knuckleheads. So, favoritism, right? And that's something that I'm going to talk about in this breakdown video. And I have to say that cynics criticize while critics analyze. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. So watch this clip of Chase Sexton. Yeah, we all know he's been having some rough times here, and this doesn't add to it. However, this is more of a series and a AMA type issue here. Well, watch this. Okay, LCQ jumps off the track. I see roost. I see massive acceleration, even wheeling over, hard braking. Beautiful form, by the way, because you can see him braking hard, accelerating, tack position, pushing the motorcycle back, leaning back. I love it. Elbows are almost completely straight. Love the technique, but he's accelerating off the track, which that is 100% against the rules, and it's the exact reason why Carson Mumford got penalized and got 4 positions taken away, a 7th to 11th, and this is what he did. This is where I go, come on, guys. If you're going to penalize somebody for breaking the rules, you need to do it to everybody. Just plain and simple. It doesn't matter who their face is. You can see that his whole shot device didn't get unclicked till just there, but look, he's coasting. He's got his hand up. He's obviously not attacking off the track because he literally has his freaking hand up. Okay? Granted, you know, that's his clutch hand. It's not his throttle hand. So, you know, he's still somewhat accelerating, but there is no body language of hauling butt. But for Sexton, okay, we see a giant rooster tail. And he's coming in so hot that he's having to brake professionally. And this is a guy that should have won the LCQ by 20 seconds. So it didn't matter if he coasted around and off the track. But truthfully, if this is it, okay, this I feel is a little bit unjustified to penalize Carson. And it may be an unpopular opinion. But if you're going to do that to this individual, you needed to do it to this individual. And could you imagine if he got penalized 4 positions? He wouldn't have made the effing main event. He would have been 5th. Grant Harlan would have been happy about it because he would have actually gotten into the main event. So, for one, penalty is too harsh. Number 2, if you're going to do it, this guy should have got docked a position as well. To me, I feel it as favoritism, just plain and simple. And that's on the AMA. On to lighter news. Did you see Roczen? The coolest thing that I saw during the entire race, besides him celebrating with finally getting a W after 11 years, was the same section, ironically, that Sexton had the issue with, was he comes in here, seat bounces, brop, lands, coasts in there, has his feet on the pegs, and it was so fast. That was so incredibly fast. Okay, here he comes, sets up. It's crazy to me that these guys are accelerating, and then at the last second, okay, look to me like he shifted down, boom, hits the shifter, and then at the last second decides to sit down and seat bounce. And that right there is so insane because usually when you're going to seat bounce something, you do it not at the end of a straightaway into a jump because you just have more inertia to do almost like what Levi Kitchen did, and we'll get into his injuries and his crash in just a moment. So you're going to have a lot more inertia on that rear shock that's going to create this endo. And so for him to have the ability at the last second, pretty much wide open, take a small brief off the gas, shift down, then set up, sit down, and get that over. You could see how, he does stand straight up. He doesn't stand forward because that's going to get that bike to endo. And just doing this here in slow motion, stood straight up, back in that attack position. Now he's going to land sitting down again, right? And land perfectly inside a rut and just, accelerate basically around because we see more of a rooster tail, right? And then basically have his feet on the pegs the entire time until there's such a deep rut that it's going to take his foot off that foot peg. So he sets up, boom, lets that foot peg fold. Effing believable. Okay, I just have to watch that one more time because just in sheer amazement. So fast. So fast. And if we move on, okay, this is the issue that Levi Kitchen had. And I kind of wish that this would have been just a larger wall jump to slow guys down. Just build it way up. Make it 10, 20 feet tall so that they slow down, because these guys are going to try to wheelie over it. I mean, they're professionals here. But these guys were not wheeling over it. All the guys, like Roczen, they're going to double and then jump off of it. So watch them. And it still kicked him, right? Because they're going fast enough. They've got that rear shock that's loaded. And so here, again, the body positioning where they're soaking up that inertia. If he was seat bouncing it, boom, would have died completely. Would have been kitchened out, right? The chef has left the building. So we're up and then just doubles it. But if we watch what Kitchen does, okay, here he is. Same scenario. We'll start in slow motion. What does he do? He wheelies into the face of it. Okay, so now there's just more inertia on the rear of that motorcycle. Bam. And he can't soak it up. And that's what he did wrong, is just pushing the envelope. And he said it on his Instagram that he knew he was pushing the envelope there. Here, I'll play it in real time for you guys for both ends back to back. And you could see the difference. And he basically got his front wheel over that and ended up breaking some bones in his back. And I think breaking his collarbone, because these guys don't wear any shoulder protection, right? Which is unfortunate. And I hope he's going to be okay being able to walk and get back on the bike, you know, and for the whole pro circuit team, just there's a problem there. And going to the main event here, it looks like Anstie hits the tough block because he's not willing to give up the whole shot. You know, he is a mature guy. We've seen him in a heated situation with some red flags, keep his composure. And here, it's hard to make decisions milliseconds, thousandths of a second in real time here. But he was basically the first guy into the first turn, so he wants to make sure that he continues to get the whole shot here. So it's a race to the second turn. And Tom Vial is trying to pinch him off. You can see the nice little whip here. And what happens? It pinches Max off just enough to where he ends up running over that tough block. So he couldn't brake, right? At least on the dirt. So then he just runs into the back Tom and goes down. And I bet he wishes that he could have a do-over to where he could have just given the position completely to Tom rather than try to race him into the corner. And if we talk about Sexton's crash here, this to me was odd. After he cased it, and it just had his weight off, and so the bike just fell out from under him. It's not like his feet came off the pegs or his hand came off. He just maybe cased it too much, right? So it just took his weight off, because there it is. Cased it real hard, and then I don't understand that one, because he's the strongest guy on a bike right now, which this to me seemed like it was a brain fart per se, rather than a big mistake by a champion. Okay. And what was cool about Daytona is you see this happen a lot, where guys don't land completely level with the jumps because of the ruts. As you see Sexton here, he's got his front wheel up, and so he's almost landing, right, and accelerating off. And this bike is going to then place that front wheel inside of a rut on the front. And that might have been the mistake that created this, but I don't think so. It's just something that they all do to stay out of the ruts. Really, it was just casing, right? And he had his weight off and somehow wasn't able to soak it up. So then the inertia just took him. And I think really he should have been able to hold on to that bike and he would have been okay. But it looks right here that he bails, right? If an instant there, outside looking in, analyzing, I think he should have held on to the motorcycle, he would have been okay. Instead, the sheer smack there, right? Unfortunate. And at the last little bit, a lot of the guys we saw do this, this was a perfect example of an acceleration, basically wheel tap here. So we've got Tom Vial, beautiful. Just that stuff to me is so pretty. Here he is, okay, front wheel high, then not even going to have the front wheel touch the lip. Just going to accelerate, and then point them both down and land beautifully, right? We'll see that one more time here with no commentating. All right, guys, this is Johnny Hopper. We went over some of, I believe, some favoritism when it comes to penalties and some amazing lines. So make sure you hit that subscribe and notification icon. Till next time, bra-da-da-da-da.